The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaraya Productions.
First impressions.
Yes.
3-episode review, more or less.
First 3 episodes.
Of Real Soldier, which I know people have been waiting for. Especially after our Beast Morphers review. For the first 3 episodes.
Thank you to everyone who watched the Beast Morphers 1.
Yes.
For all the lovely comments. Thank you all.
Now,
Glad you
hopefully,
enjoyed it.
everybody went watching this one too. Let's talk about Real Soldier.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna let Jake... Okay, let's start with where we usually do.
The opening?
And the ending.
Okay, so we're starting with both.
The opening has great visuals. Like, actually looking at stuff, and I love how they did everything, especially like the outlines of the Real Soldiers themselves. The song.
I hate this opening.
I do too.
I hate it.
It's not great.
I don't like anything about it. I don't like the visuals. I don't like the song.
The song is weirdly monotone. It's like the singer's voice doesn't go anywhere, really.
I just thought it was bad.
It's not exciting. People are like, this is the best opening ever. One, no, it's not. Kaku Ranger exists. Die Ranger exists. But
if you've seen it and you do think it's the best opening ever, good for you. I'm glad somebody is enjoying this.
it's not great. It's objectively not a great song.
No. Don't say that.
No, I say that because it is not really, it's not interesting.
Well, maybe to you, but to
no, it's
like
music.
To somebody else, it probably is.
No,
so don't,
like I say objectively because musically it's not interesting.
You can't objectively say whether art is good or bad.
You can sort of when it ends up.
No, you can't.
Because they're like, you can have things that go actual places. This song just like, I'm going to stay in this key throughout the entire thing. Even when I get to the bridge, I'm going to stay in this key. The chorus isn't great either. But you know what's worse than this?
Are you talking about the dance ending?
Yes, Maria! This is trash. This is actually awful. There's nothing good about this.
You really hated this ending, I guess.
It's awful. I'm sitting here watching this thing like, wow, did I die and go to hell?
Oh, God, wow.
Oh, no, you know what's actually worse than that? Did I die and go to purgatory because I'm just sitting here like this, hoping to get away from this, but I can't. Or I could, because I just skip it. Oh my God, I remember watching this when they did like that first thing, like that preview for the actual show where like had all the actors and sweet actors come out on stage, and they did this dance, and I was like, wow, this is
also dance.
I was like, wow, this is what being poisoned feels like. It's slow. It's torturous.
I love the choreography. It's so involved and intricate.
It's bad. It's really bad. There's no joy in this ending.
It feels like they saw Kyoryuger's ending and were like, we can do that.
Yeah. I think it was actually the same choreographer.
I believe it. It's like the same kind of song.
But with a worse singer.
I didn't mind the singer.
I did.
This was the song that never ends.
Yeah.
It feels like it just goes, it's what, a minute and a half? It doesn't feel like it ends. It just goes on and on and on.
It's a song about being slow poisoned. It's like somebody who's toxic on you, and the further along it gets, the worse it gets.
Every turn, just more and more health drops.
And at the end of it, Vino shock and you're dead.
You have so many full restores, but they just don't work.
No. Oh, God, I hate both the opening and ending, and I'm just like, please throw it away. Anyway, on to the actual show itself. For the first 3 episodes, I'm going to let Jacob talk about it first, because we have very differing opinions.
I want you to go first.
Aww.
Please go first, Marcus.
Okay. I liked it. Ko.
Yeah, we have different opinions.
Ko. Well, he's not so much a loud...
Which I want to ask you, how many times when watching this did you go, Ko?
Oh, never. That's a Matt thing.
Okay.
But yeah, Ko, although he sort of comes off as a loud red, it's like a lot less than Lucky. He's just naive.
He is naive.
And I think that actually works for him in some cases because he's also really strong-willed, but he doesn't come off as annoying. So I'm just like, okay, I'm all right with this. And the first episode... All right, so the Masters, who are basically the Red, Blue, and Pinks, their trainers, they're Masters. So Red is played by Kamen Rider the First.
Oh.
Blue is played by Ibuki from Hibiki.
Nice.
And Pink is played by the live-action version of Sailor Moon.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah. I like the three of them. And this episode feels very much like a mid-season sort of episode.
Mm.
Like, you understand what I mean here. Because the things that they do in this first episode, when the Druidon come back, we get that shot of the giant monster coming to attack the village.
You know something I liked about the first episode?
What?
The fact that it all takes place in the mountains and forests.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was also interesting because this episode, just how the way they set it up, and it was sort of like two separate worlds in a forest. You know what that really reminded me of? Gingaman.
Mm-hmm.
How that starts at the beginning, but without a bad filter.
Gingaman and also Hibiki.
Yeah, but without a bad filter. But I really liked the way that this first episode was set up. Even though it felt a little fast, I didn't feel overwhelmed like I get with some past first episodes. Like, I remember how Zyuohger just like... I think the thing with Zyuohger is the fact that it's just like, we had to introduce this thing to him, and then all of this has to happen, and then the mech fight. In this case, it was like that introduction part has been skipped because they're entrenched in this already.
Yeah.
So I think that actually helped me acclimate to this better than I did with the Zyuohger opening, which felt fast.
Okay.
And then we get to the Druidon coming in. I love that first fight of the two Reds. And he uses like the power soul in the thing. And there's this... I thought it was weird at first, but somebody explained it to me later, like how it really makes sense of them swinging the sword and the sword bends. Mm-hmm. Like when it comes towards the camera, the reason it does that because he used the power soul, he swung it so hard that it beat the Ren resistance, made the sword bend back, and then he killed everybody.
That happened.
I thought that was just cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, we get that scene of Reds fighting the main, who's like Rook, more or less.
The castle man.
Yeah, the castle guy. And I also really like the fact that they fought the monsters more, at least on the first 3 episodes, they fought the giant...
Tank Joe is his name.
Yeah. They fought the giant monster more on the ground.
That was something I noticed, is that they fight the big monsters in their regular suits.
Yeah. I just thought it was really cool.
That was interesting.
Because Pink has that weighted ball, and Blue has the extend thing, so they like try to weight it down.
Here's the thing I liked most about these first 3 episodes. When did mech fights get good?
This season.
When did mech fights suddenly turn into Ultraman, where they have interesting camera work, a nimble mech that is running sideways along a mountain, jumping up and doing flips over the monster, slashing at him. There's actual interesting fight choreography and camera work in this first mech fight. That was the best part of this whole 3 episodes.
The guy who was doing the mech fights previously for like many past seasons retired. Okay. So this is a new guy.
It's a new guy.
There's this one scene.
New limber young body.
There's this one scene, I think it was either episode 3 or 2, where the mech was running at the monster throughout the city, and then it jumps on him, grabs him, and rolls him over. I just thought that was like the coolest thing, because I'd never seen like really anything.
We've never seen Sentai mechs move like this.
Yeah,
ever.
It's like the
closest thing we've seen. I was going to say is Deca Ranger.
I was going to say Die Ranger.
Okay,
because of Red.
Because of Red, in terms of the way the mechs work, I can understand that, but in terms of movements where you have the Deca Ranger mech where it's like jumping and rolling through the city and using buildings as cover, but even then it was only the CGI stuff that it was doing that with. And this one, that's a guy in a suit.
And he's moving so fast.
Moving really fast. And the miniature work and the camera angles, it's all really well done.
There is a couple other, like, oh my god. I think it was in episode 3. No, it was episode 2. With the when Red got that one soul that I was really hoping that they were never going to have in the show, which they brought from Kyoryuger with fucking Ovirapu, the gas soul. I do like the fact that they use it more than once and they use it interestingly, but I hate the fact that they use it, period. But there is this one scene where after he does that, and he has the power one in there, and he's in front of the building with the glass and everything behind him, and the monsters in front of him with its nose plug. But it's such a cool scene. It's so incredibly well shot. It's just cool. But in episode 1, going back to that because we've been talking about everything, the Masters die.
Yeah.
And this is something that
they may bring them back in a later episode, who knows?
But at the same time,
they're dead.
Because their souls are what are given to their students and are used for them to transform.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that, one, Red's master was so smart. Right after they were fighting that guy, and they were like straight up going to lose. There was nothing they could do. But he uses one of the souls to turn Ko into like a diamond. And then he gets in front of him just in case he didn't make it in time, and then he dies.
Yeah, because he takes the brunt of the blast.
Pink and Blue, however, are out there fighting the big monster, and he's about to like shoot this blast of fire at them.
Big giant monster, mind you, not human-sized monster.
And their masters push them out of the way.
It's the classic get out of the way, and then they get hit by the truck. In this case, the truck was a blast of fire,
and they
from a giant monster.
Obliterated.
They're not there anymore. They don't exist on this plane of reality anymore.
And their real soul,
because they are ashes.
Their real soul things spark after like Pink and Blues do, and I'm just like, okay, I guess we're going there in episode 1. I just looked every which way because I was just like, did that just happen?
That happened.
Is that what we're doing? This is the same guy who did a couple of those episodes of Build, Kamihiro Uchi, who did episode 21.
Episode 21.
Who did Grease Blizzard debut. And he did a couple of the actual good episodes of Build. But yeah, I think the weakest thing in the first couple episodes is something that we could both agree on. Yui, the YouTube girl. She does get one hilarious scene with Ko, though. Where
that's the one scene that I laughed at in this entire 3 episodes. You're going to erase my memory? How? Holds up a sledgehammer? That made me laugh very hard, I will admit.
Hilarious.
That was a very perfectly timed visual gag.
And he just looks up.
It's like, what, you're going to hit me with that? And he just kind of shrugs like, yeah, sorry.
It was great.
Sadly, he didn't actually do it.
Now, before we get into anything else, Jacob, go ahead.
I hate this show. I hate this show.
Why?
I really hate this show.
Pourquoi?
Pourquoi pas? In all seriousness. I really hate Super Sentai. I want it to die.
I don't.
I want it to burn in ashes because this just exemplifies everything that I hate about it. It's just, once again, it's just endless noise. This show to me so far has just been endless freaking noise.
Now, to be fair, this is the first 3 episodes.
It is the first 3 episodes. I will give it that. It could impress me later on down the line when we review the full thing. I'm not going to be watching this until then. But just from the opening theme song onwards,
this is the worst.
Once again, I said this during the Forza review, but it's just visual and auditory noise. I just felt bombarded and kicked in the face the entire time I was watching this thing. There were a couple of moments I did like. I'll give it that. It's not a total disaster, but I hated it.
I really enjoyed it.
I think I don't like the villains at all. I don't like their designs. I think they look like toys.
I don't like the mushroom one. I like the other one.
Yeah.
The castle.
Yeah, Tank Joe.
We do in episode 3.
I hate the way the mushroom thing looks. The way they create their monsters
is so creepy. I don't like it.
I wasn't a fan.
No, but the thing is, I can see the possibilities of it for later on.
I'm sure there are possibilities.
Think about this. Because it's green slime being dropped into their mouths, and that's what makes the monsters. From their, like, greed feeds on their life force.
Yeah.
Picture that being used and diluted through an office water cooler or a drinking well or some other natural body of water that people actually drink from. Okay. That's terrifying.
Okay, I like where your head's at. But the whole storyline with the fencer, I didn't care. I honestly just didn't care. It's like, I want to be the best. I'm going to be the best fencer. I left my family to be the best. and then in the end, it just there's like almost no payoff. He's just in the hospital.
And his family's there.
His family's there, and he starts crying. But then immediately we cut to the Rangers, and they're like, "Well, that was sure a fun adventure. Why? No, dwell a little more on that thing. If you want us to care more about that."
Well, I mean, it was just a plot device at that point.
At that point,
in episode 3, we get to see Green and Black after we just saw them in the Super Sentai Strongest Battle special. I liked them pretty much immediately, especially Black.
Did you?
But Green is a whole different kind of person. He's like the antithesis to Ko, where Ko is a lot more naive. Green's a lot more naive in the fact that he's a lot more brutal with his thing. Because there are 2 ways that you can stop the monsters. Either you wait until, or you actually just beat the monster straight out, or if you're Green and Black, you kill the person that they're made from.
Mm-hmm.
And that kills the monster.
Yep.
And that's the way that they've been doing it. Yep. And understandably, Ko, Melt, and Asuna have an issue with this.
I hate that name.
Melt?
Melto.
Oh, yeah, that's a stupid name.
It's a stupid name.
There's no getting around
Another thing about the villains, getting back to them that I hated, the way they deliver their motivation is like done in like the dumbest way possible. Where they're fighting some minions and the mushroom guy is like, "Oh yeah, so while you're fighting, this is why we're doing all these bad things.
We want to take over the world.
We want to take over the world, and we've been waiting for 65 million years to do it, but
However, I love the fact that Green and Black are very antagonistic.
This show just felt like... This show to me just felt...
We're not done.
Alright, fine.
I love the fact that, one, the second person that they end up using to make one of the monsters is Yui.
That's right.
And it's another...
And I wish they had just killed her, because I really can't stand
that. Was the plan.
I can't stand this character. I cannot freaking stand Yui at all.
Because it was either Toa and Bamba were going to kill her. Or she was going to kill herself.
Yeah.
By throwing herself off of a cliff and dying.
Wish she'd have done that. This character is just so annoying.
But I love... Once again, it's another Medusa monster.
Uh-huh.
But every single time they do a Medusa monster, it almost ends up looking the exact same. Like, it's always something up here. I like the fact that monster's face was here.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle.
That's one thing I've noticed about the monsters, that their faces tend to be around the midsection.
Yeah. I think it's just cool. It's a little, stylistic thing that works.
It sets it apart.
But I like the fact that Green and Black do not get along with them. Because they have 2 very different ways of doing things. And the only reason they did not kill Yui themselves is because the actual Dino Knights came out of the ground and they were like, "Oh, they have Dino Knights. We should figure out how they got theirs because I want one."
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they didn't kill her. These mech fights are just great, though. They're amazing.
Not a huge fan of the mech, though.
Because it's so much red?
No, I just don't like how it looks.
Why?
I don't really like how any of them look.
I'm actually fine.
I also really don't like these suits.
I love this.
Seeing them in motion, I really don't like how they look.
I absolutely love the suits. I think they're just great. Looks so damn
This whole show just feels like Kyoryuger again.
It doesn't.
In a lot of ways, it just felt like Kyoryuger again, but they tried to do it again, and it didn't work for me too much the first time. Once again, we have a morphing sequence that feels like it takes 4,000 years. That's so noisy, and there's all the little dancing things.
That part was never needed, but I like the fact that they actually had 2.
They do have 2. I
love the much more we're in movement ones where it's just a dodecahedron forms around them, and then the suit comes from that. I think that's very cool. I'm much rather them do that instead of what we've more been getting.
Instead of more dancing.
Yeah. But at least it's not them dancing.
No, it's little CGI versions of their key things dancing. Yeah.
I think this show has promise. I think it's cool, but we are very in early days.
Yeah, we are.
So I really enjoy what we've been getting so far. Jacob and I have very differing opinions.
We do.
But as soon as episode 1 came on and they killed the Masters, I was thinking this is how the show is going to go. Because Yui almost killed herself second episode, so here we are.
This show is not without its merits, but I don't like it.
I do. I get it in that they're getting a lot of the stupid stuff out of the way first. Like the gas one. Because everything else seems useful, but that one just seems stupid. But I also like the fact that we've been getting unusual spaces. Like there's that one scene where Blue gets thrown into an office building. I love when they fight in office buildings. It's cool to see them fighting in closed spaces. And we're not getting so much the standard, this is where
the same street, the same bridge, the same stadium, the same quarry.
Yeah. It's, this is actually different. And I think a lot of that is being helped by the mechs, by the mech fights. Because the mech fights are even though I like the show itself, the mech fights, it's been such a long time since I've been interested in getting to them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Even with Loopad had some good ones, especially early on. Got a little while to get sort of standard. But in this time, it's just no, we're going to move. We're just going to jump all around. We're in the city. All right, let's throw you out of the city. So I love the way that the mechs are just being utilized this time around instead of just be all right, here's another mech fight in Sentai. You know what's going to happen.
Again, not a huge fan of the way they look, but I very, very much appreciate the changes they made to the choreography.
Yeah. It reminds me of just Die Rangers, their mech fights, at least the early ones. A little bit of Geki Rangers.
Okay.
Because that one was a little bit more mobile as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where this show goes, especially going forward, especially with us, that purple armor guy from the Super Sentai Greatest Battle thing, and especially Gold later on. I'm really expecting much more of a fun ride this time around. I love Loopad. Everybody who's watched this channel knows that. But yeah, I'm excited to see where Ryu Soldier is going to go. Jacob will watch it once we actually get to reviewing it.
Yeah, I will.
Apparently it's selling well. And that's the thing that was supposed
to happen. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
So I'm excited to see.
How's it doing ratings-wise?
Don't know. They don't release that for a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes going forward. Let us know what you think about Ryu Soldier's first 3, or by the time it's come out, 4 episodes in the comments below. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to join us in all things: Patreon, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon if you can. Bye, everybody.
Bye.